Swabot. Students will be able to understand basic geometric terms. Now, some of those terms you've already put into your slide that you've created. We have them. Say them. You just repeat them after me. Here we go. Line. Line segment. Ray. Intersecting lines. Parallel lines. Perpendicular lines. Okay. So one of the ways I wanted to share with you that helped me understand, like I said, that will probably help you to understand these terms is the video on Khan Academy done by Mr. Khan himself. It's about 3 minutes long. I'm going to play it and then we're going to discuss it a little more when the video is over. So your eyes should be tracking where? Screen. Eyes on the screen, please. In fact, I need to make this a little bit bigger here.
Who is Mr. Khan?
What I want to do in this video is think about the difference between a line segments when we think of it from a pure geometrical point of view. And I know I drew a little bit of a curve here, but this is supposed to be completely straight. But it's the line segment. The segment is based on the fact that it has a ending point and a starting point, or a starting point and an ending point. A line, if you're thinking about it in the pure geometric sense of a line, is essentially it does not stop. It does not have a starting point and an ending point. It keeps going on forever in both directions. So a line would look like this. A line would look like this. And to show that it keeps on going on forever in that direction right over there, we draw this arrow. And to keep showing that it goes on forever in kind of the down left direction, we draw this arrow right over here. So obviously, you know, I've never encountered something that just keeps on going straight forever, but in math, that's the neat thing about math, we can think about these abstract notions. And so the mathematical, purest geometric sense of a line is this straight thing that goes on forever. Now a ray is something in between. A ray has a well-defined starting point, so that's its starting point, but then it just keeps on going on forever. So the ray might start over here, but then it just keeps on going. Then it just keeps on going. So that right over there is a ray. Now with that out of the way, let's actually try to do the Khan Academy module on recognizing the difference between line segments, lines, and rays. And I think you'll find it pretty straightforward based on our little classification right over here. So let me get the module going. Where did I put it? There you go. All right.
You'll be doing
so what is
too.
this thing right over here?
Not now.
Well, it has two arrows on both ends, so it's implying that it goes on forever. So this is going to be a line. Let's check our answer. Yeah, it's a line. Now, it's taking some time. I'll correct next question. All right, now what about this thing? Well, once again, arrows on both sides means that this thing is going to go on forever in both directions. So once again, it is a line. Fair enough. Let's do another one. Here we have one arrow, so it goes on forever in this direction, but it has a well-defined starting point. So it starts there and then goes on forever. And if you remember, that's what a ray is. One starting point, but goes on forever. So it goes, or one way to think about it, goes on forever in only one direction. So that is a ray. So let's do another question. This right over here, you have a starting point and an ending point, or you could call this the start point and the ending point, but it doesn't go on forever in either direction. So this right over here is a line segment. There you go. So hopefully that gives you enough to work your way through this module. And you might notice when I did this module right here, there is no video, and that's exactly what this video is. It's the video for this module.
Okay. Here we go. Here we go.
Any pair of points can be connected by a line segment. That's right. Connect two pairs of black points in a way that creates two parallel line segments. So let's see if we can do that.
You'll
So I
be
could
doing
create
this
one
too.
segment that connects this point to this point, and then another one that connects this point to this point, and they look pretty parallel. In fact, I think this is the right answer. If we did it another way, if we had connected that point to that point, if we connected that point to that point and this point to this point, then it wouldn't look so parallel. These clearly, if they were to keep going, they would intersect at some point. So let me set it back up the way I did it the first time. Let me make these 2 points. Let me make these 2 points parallel.
So what does it mean for two lines to be parallel? Did you catch what he just said there? Remember, if they're two lines, actually we have two line segments. But if they were the lines with the arrows on each end, how would we know they're parallel? Haley? Not curved. They'll never intersect, right? Those other two, the way he had them set up, eventually, if you were to keep drawing those lines, eventually they would intersect. In this case, when two lines are parallel, even though they're going to go on and on forever, if they're lines, they will never cross paths. They'll never intersect. So parallel lines do not intersect. Let's keep going. I didn't know if I was recording. Okay, back. I'm back. Here we go.
And these are line segments because they have
Look what he's
two
clicking on over
endpoints.
there.
They each have 2 endpoints.
2 endpoints, yeah.
And they continue forever. Well, they don't continue forever. They continue forever in no direction.
In no direction.
In 0 directions. If it was an array, it would continue forever in one direction. If it's a line, it continues forever past both of these points. In fact, it wouldn't have endpoints because it would just continue forever in both of these directions. Let's do one more. Drag the ray so it has an endpoint at A. So we want to make its endpoint at A where the ray terminates and goes through one of the other black points. The ray should also be parallel to the pink line. So I have two options. I can make it go through this black point. It's clearly not parallel. In fact, it looks perpendicular here. So let's try to make it go through this point. Well, yes. When I do,
There's that word perpendicular. When he had it, I can't rewind it. I can rewind it just a bit.
not parallel. In fact, it looks perpendicular.
Okay. How do we know? That's one of your words you have on your screen today. When something is perpendicular, what does that mean? That's what we got going here. When it crosses through, it does something. What's it doing here, Brody?
It has a right angle.
It's creating a right angle. When two lines are perpendicular, that means they create that 90-degree right angle, kind of like a corner. It's a perfect right angle right there. So perpendicular means it's going to create the right angle, but it said to make the ray be parallel to the pink line, so he's going to drag it up the other way. You'll get some, like I said, you're going to get some practice with this in just a moment.
Here. So let's try to make it go through this point. Well, yes, when I do that, it does indeed look like my ray is parallel to the pink line. And this is a ray because it has one endpoint. This is where the ray terminates. It's an end point. It literally ends there. And it continues forever in one direction. In this case, the direction is to the right. It continues forever to the right. So it continues forever in one direction.
Okay. So here's what we're going to do. I'm going to stop the video first of all.